Good morning, everyone. A good day. Karen Cecilia here. I won't be long. I want to say I promise, but I best not say that. But I won't be long. I'll just take some time out from the painting of the awning to just address a few things. The war room is a space for information gathering and sifting. That's what the war room does. Our war room. We gather information, we sift through them, kind of like every war room in every country, same like the war room in every political organization around the world. The fewer the persons in the war room, the better it is. And I have established a thing in the war room where I ask that nobody put any foolishness in the war room. We don't want no stupid comment by some stupid riser out there who decided that they want to make some stupid comment and make a fool of themselves. But we don't want no stupid voice notes from stupid people either. We want information with veracity, information that we can sift through and make sense of, or and get the historical perspective of that. So I say that because as humans, we are more or less what we choose to reveal about ourselves. That's what we are. Anything that we reveal, the things we say, the things we do, the lens we would go through for whatever reason, for whatever thing. That's who we are as humans. We can't help ourselves. That's part of our makeup. And what we choose to reveal about ourselves basically is what we are. And while you would want to say, boy, I wouldn't want anybody to know that I am this or anybody to know that I am that, you talk long enough and often enough, and you will choose to reveal things about yourself that establishes who you are. And sometimes you do so unintendedly. And that is what has happened to Mark Golding. Now, we're not going to talk about Mark Golding grandparents, not on this one, because there's just so much more about Mark's story that it is mind-boggling. Um, but I can tell you one piece of information on that because that is not what I want to talk to you about. One piece of information on that is that we've been trying to figure out who is Alzoria Levy, and we couldn't find a thing on Alzoria Levy. And then we cross-checked date of birth, date of death, all kinds of things we cross-check where the two names turn up, both Logan Levy and Alzoria. And in cross-checking it, we have now concluded that Logan Rhodes Levy, who's Mark's grandfather, and Alzoria Levy is the same person. Believe me, I'm not going to tell you all that transpired between those two names and how that other name came about as a result of Logan Levy having to use an next name. I can't go to that right now. That's not what I want to talk to you about. What I want to talk to you about briefly is basically I'm talking to Jamaican voters and specifically the PNP voters. This election cycle, this current election cycle coming up, whether it be a general election or a local government election, this is the election cycle for the independents. Independents have never been more in demand or more on the cusp of gaining power in Jamaican politics than now. Now is the time for independence. And you know who created that? The two political parties created that. So therefore, there is a base of the JLP who will vote JLP. And there is a base of the PNP who will vote PNP. Those two bases are similar creatures. They ride around on the same horses. They drink from the same trough. Those are just creatures that are there. However, that grouping of people are becoming less, are becoming less and less. That grouping that say, boy, I'm not curious, man. If a dog them send a PNP shirt, I'm going to vote. If a dog them send a JLP shirt, I'm going to vote. That is a smaller group of voters now, which is why both political parties now have a reason to worry and panic. I am not kidding. they have a reason to worry and panic because their voting base is shrinking. It is becoming less and less of hardcore laborites and hardcore PMP that are going to come out and vote. So what will happen? Or what will happen? And I am not making any kind of prediction or doing that because I'm not a seer of things. I'm not a seer, whatever them call them back in the day. What I know is that when Mark Golding and him crew get up and go into a town and announce a group of people and say, these are the people who are going to represent you. And they have PMP people outside in bigger numbers than what is inside, with more influence than what is inside. Because I have found that the people who are protesting are not only bigger in numbers, they are greater in influence. And therein lies the problem. These are not just some people who have come out and say, we don't want a girl there. They have ultra race, we don't want her. She don't have no manners. She's ill-mannered and she's not ready to deal with people. The set of people who are saying that, those are the people with the influence. Those are workers. Those are people who people look out to see at them yard. And them look through the door election, them look through the gate at election man and say, John, are you that? Young election guy, you come up here. But guess what? It's only him alone can go. Because him can get through that when they tell him, say, on election time, him alone go up there. But him can go up there. So there is a problem with that. So here we are. Talk about Dayon Campbell, and let me just talk about the gentleman that they put into Northeast St. Anne briefly. Now this man, with him, spend some time in Harvard doing some work at Harvard. So for some reason, him feel like him is some kind of Harvard mouth person that somebody should afraid of, or when him talk, people should just back off. Telling PMP people not to call him, nor text him, nor talk to him unless they're going to tell him how to motivate the PMP base, which basically is him that admitting that him don't have a plan how to motivate the PMP base. And him can't motivate the PMP base if him tell PMP people say, oh no, call me, oh no, don't text me unless you come in to tell me how we're going to motivate the base. So him admitting to no, that him can't motivate the base. Him admitting to no, that him and the crew him have not motivating the base. So the people who can motivate the base is him them telling not to call him or text him or come to him unless them can tell him how to do that. And guess what? This man who was slated to run against Lisa Hanna in the 2020 elections. And Mark Golding went for him and hug him up and take him and put him up in the ear and say, I'm a PMP and we're giving the seat. What was that for? Why did they do that? They did that because, boy, I would big you up because you didn't run against Lisa Hanna. Them never have no other motivation for that. And him come and him join the PMP because the Labour them put him out because him never have no behaviour, him ill-mannered, and him have no discipline, and he broke the protocol of the COVID, and him don't think that's a reason for him. Him never thought that's a reason for him not to run. He broke the protocol. And because him in discipline and don't have no sense of how leaders should behave, so I'm coming to PMP now, and this is what I'm trying to tell PMP people. PMP people who have been working for PMP for years when him run up and down behind Labour and look see it, That's what this guy, Ryan Simpson, that's what him doing, Telling PMP people who run up and down behind PMP people that, we don't want you not frown unless you don't know for motivate the base. The PMP people themselves don't want this girl. But this girl not in any words with the PMP people, so them don't want her. You know why? She not in any words because Mark Golding come down there and Dayon Campbell and them say a she. And them the business what the PMP people are going to say. Them the business what the PMP people feel. Them come and them say a she. This is the candidate. And they wonder like stupid men. They wonder why people up in arms against them. You know why people up in arms against, People up in arms against, because we don't understand how people feel. We have never been loyal to anything. So we can't understand what breaking of loyalty, betrayal. We don't understand what betrayal is because we don't understand what loyalty is. So we can never understand what we do. We can't. Mark Golding and Dayon Campbell, them will never understand what we do because they have never been loyal to anything other than their money and their pocket and their power. So them don't understand how we feel about betrayal. And the fact that them don't understand that, tells me something very simple about them. They don't understand why Jesus died. Because if they can't understand about betrayal and loyalty, then they can't understand why Jesus died and why God sent his son to die for us. They will never understand that because they can't understand the difference between loyalty and betrayal, and they don't understand why people get upset and annoyed and aggravated and passionate about betrayal when loyalty is betrayed, when loyalty is stocked up by men with guns. And I mean that, metaphorically. So they don't understand it. So here's Ryan Simpson telling the PNP people that these are the candidates. And them are going to run. You don't want to, don't like it. What I'm going to do, I don't want to do. These are the people. The party have signed off on these people. And that is the second problem. These are the people that the party signed off on. These are not the people that the delegates and the voters and the workers signed off on. No. These are the people that Dayon and Mark signed off on. So they better love it up and suck it up and go and not tell me nothing unless you come talk to me about how we are going to motivate the PNP base. That's a good slogan against this man Simpson. Him can't motivate the base. Him admit that. Him admit that in his voice note that him say, don't talk to me, don't call me, don't say nothing to me unless you're not going to tell me how we're going to motivate the base. So him as the leader, him as the quote-unquote leader for the constituency, don't have a clue how to motivate the base. And my threaten PNP people say, if you don't like the candidates, don't talk to me about it unless you're not going to tell me how to motivate. Because them are the candidate. Because Mark Golding have long revealed who he is and what mission he is on. And that does not include any kind of consensus with PNP people. He must choose the people who he believe will support him and keep him to be leader for as long as he wants to be leader. And how the PNP people feel about it is neither here nor there with him. Just to care about it. That mean nothing to him. So I'm bringing this labor at Ryan Simpson, who a lot of PNP people like Desmond Gilmore, who's running back his seat in Limehall, tell me that him is a good youth. Well, PNP people have this thing about talking about him as a good youth and him is a good person and yes, him can win. Now, Gilly is my friend, bona fide friend and comrade. Gilly is. Gilly might take sides about all kind of things, but Gilly will never betray you. Gilly will never betray a trust. Gilly will never betray a friendship. Gilly will tell you, well, you have your problem with Karen, but Karen, I'm a friend. And, Gilly is a good guy. And I hope that he wins back the Limehall division. But I'm telling the PNP people in Northeast St. Anne, don't let them telling her nothing. Well, I don't want this girl who think that she is the cat's pajamas, who think that somebody died and made her Princess Elizabeth. Well, I don't have to vote for her. I don't have to. PNP voters have now set up this country to introduce a new viable set of representatives, people who can represent you, people who think like you, people who listens to you, PNP voters, PNP workers. And uno set that up, is uno set that in place. We're all right, uno now listen to we. We say, we don't want this girl, we want this man, and uno say, uno want this girl, uno go and go vote for her, uno go and go work for her, we now work for her, we now vote for her. If the man who we support decide that he will run as independent, we are going to work for him and we are going to vote for him. There is no loyalty test here, PNP people. You're loyal to your party, you're loyal to your belief system. But you recognize that the party that you're loyal to and the belief system that you have developed over the years in the party that you're loyal to is not the same party anymore. It is not. So therefore, you are entitled rightfully to say to the people who are not listening to you, because every representative that comes into your space is supposed to be representing you, but them are represent Mark Golding, and if they're not representing you, then now is the time for you to choose a representative you want and run that representative on an independent ticket. And I'm not a political guru. Really, I am not. But I pride myself and studying the thing to a T. Let me give you a little history lessons, and I want to listen to me carefully and not where it belong. In 2016, when Trump was running for president against Hillary Clinton, Trump showed the US voters who he is. He showed them unwittingly, dumbly, bigly, whateverly. He demonstrated on a daily basis to the voting public who he is. He told them, I'm going to Muslim ban, we don't like black people. Me and my crew them from over the Nazi group, me and my crew from QAnon. Trump was making it abundantly clear as to what he's going to do and who he is. You know what the news media did? The news media in the United States in 2016, between 2015 and 2016, they propped up Trump. They propped him up for ratings. They propped him up because him come on and him said the most outlandish things. And they're own, in their own minds, they were giving themselves some comfort by saying to the American people daily on the television and on the radio, listen, I run for president. When people are running up politics, them say anything them want, that don't mean them going to do everything that them say them going to do. Every one of them said it. The people on CNN, Morning Joe and Mika, the whole of them who were friends with Trump, all of them said the same thing. All the news anchors on ABC and CBS, all of them, forget Fox. Fox was in the tank all the time with them. But these were the news media people, the mainstream news media people were saying that, listen, Trump is outlandish. He has lived his life as an outlandish man, saying outlandish things, doing outlandish and outrageous things. But as soon as he becomes president, he will settle down. He will be presidential. He will do the things that are beneficial to the entire country as a whole and not got carried through all of them things I want to hear my talk say. So don't watch that. Black people said so too. Some black people, the percentage of black people that voted for Trump, they said so too. They said, no, man, him now go, him a campaign. Him a campaign. That's him I do. And then Trump won. And Trump become president. And Trump basically did everything that he promised them that he was going to do. Every single thing. And slowly the mainstream media start to, move away and go into criticism that is constructive and not divisive, but calling him out and stuff as president. And he ruled for 4 years with an iron fist, and he did every single thing that he said he was going to do to tear down what he called the deep state. He did everything he said he was going to do to undermine the infrastructure of American democracy. He did everything he said he was going to do to undermine the guardrails that holds United States democracy together. Had he won in 2020, God help them then. But he did all of that for the 4 years that he was there. To tear it down, to make it into his mold, to make it so that it worked for him, so that it benefit him, so that him can be the strong man, the dictator, so him can be the man who said to the Attorney General, yo, we're going to lock up them people there, and the Attorney General going to lock them up. So him can say to the FBI, I'm going to investigate them people, and James Comey say, I'm do it, and them fire him. He was making the whole thing in his image and how he wanted it to be. Well, he lost in 2020 to Joe Biden, and now Trump is running again. And this is the part I want you to listen to me too. Because he said all the things that he was going to do in 2016, and he did them while people believing that he would not. Now he's running again. And it's a different thing now. Every striking morning, day, noon, and night, the media, the pundits, all of them out warning the American people that a second Trump presidency would totally now destroy America. Now they're warning them. After they suck up to him in 2016 and allow him to become president and nearly tear it down. Now he's going to build some cages and lock up some people when they're like in them cages there. And so there's alarm bells going out all over the place. that people should not elect him. They're not saying that him should elect, but they might tell them, talk about what they do. They might do now in 2023 what they did not do in 2016. Warn the country about some of the things that Trump is saying, some of the argument he's parroting, some of the things he's saying going to put in the place is people going out there, some of the things that they are putting out in space to say what they are going to do. They are out there now as responsible journalists, warning the country, informing the country about everything that he says that is not in line with Americans' principle and democratic practices. They are warning them. Now, we're not the mainstream media. We over here in the resistance, we're not mainstream media. And we're certainly not journalists. But we have enough sense to know that for the last almost 3 years, we have been warning you. We have been doing what the media in the United States never did in 2016. We have been warning you about Mark Golding. We have been telling you about who he is. And we tell you about who he is, not something we made up or something we just go out and say. We tell you about who he is because of what he himself has said. The things that he himself have said. He never surround himself with tapanarist people. Him not want nobody in him space who never support him. Him not think him should have that person because that person never support him. Him tell you every day him get up and open him mouth. Him tell you if you're not on the Mark Golding train, you can go about no business because me no need uno. Uno him attack. PNP people down in Northeast St. Anne who down there telling him that you don't want this girl. And him a telling us, say, a film team is him them these people that him a go no better take it and love it up. We warning you. We tell you about him. I'm just hoping that you're listening. We're not no guru, but I'm hoping that you're listening. Everything that he is what he has revealed to us. Some people ask me, some people text me, some people see me on the street, some people asking me questions. Why you digging up in a Mark Golding family tree? And I have to remind them, I said we weren't the one who started this. Mark Golding was the one who started talking in the absence of anything for himself, in the absence of him having any record of him doing any good, any record of him doing something good in our community, any record of him doing any charity organization, in the absence of him being a good person that we can see, in the absence of him having anything to produce to show the public that this is what I have done all my life to help people, in the absence of that, he's the one who went out and dig up him daddy. He's the one who went up and dig up him daddy and talking about the contribution that his family have made to Jamaica. Him is the one who do it. So I know him family them, him extended family them out in the country, pretty upset with him. That I can tell you because I've gotten calls from quite a few of them who supported him in 2020. They supported him and disappointed in him. They are embarrassed by him. Him is the one who got dig up him daddy and start presenting daddy to us as somebody who did something great for Jamaica. In the absence of him, Mark Golding, having any record of him doing anything at all for Jamaica or anything at all for the PNP, him got dig up him daddy. So as responsible PNP people and as responsible citizens, I believe it is our responsibility to look at what he brought up. And we looked at it. He was the one who brought it up. And we went and we looked at it and we couldn't stop. It is so massive. It is so filled with lies. It is so filled with a man with three identity. It is filled with men committing murder. His family line. It is filled with man who finance wars against black people. His family line, his bloodline. It's him. Dig it up. But as I started this voice out, as I said, you are who you are. You reveal it. Every time you open your mouth, every time you do something, every time you wear something, every time you display a certain behavior, you are revealing who you are. And that is what Mark Golding have done. So the independent people, want to gear up, man, and go run as independent. Because this is the first time in our political history. I can't recall another time. And maybe some more astute politicians or people who study more history than me in the politics will be able to correct me. But I cannot recall a time in our country where the government is suffering from lack of confidence. The people have no confidence in the government. Some people even dislike Mr. Holness, where people are questioning the government, where people have real issues with the government, but yet they are not flocking the opposition. They have equal problems, sorry, with the opposition, just as they have with the government. They have so many problems with the opposition, that the problems with the government is being equaled to those problems of the opposition. And it should not have been so. It should not be so at all. Pardon me. But that is what we have. We have a government that is the people are very, very upset with, and the people are weighing their options with, and the people have issues with certain members of the government. And we have an opposition which the people kiss them teeth at when they talk about changing the government, which they want to change. But we're in limbo because them have no faith and confidence in the opposition, which leads me now to Eastern Westmoreland. So here is Luther Buchanan. Luther Buchanan is the scion of the Buchanan and Monteith clan. Luther Buchanan is the fellow who had that seat for 3 terms, won it for PMP, worked for it as a youngster, as a PMP. His uncle Noel Monteith was PJ right-hand man down there. His uncle Danny Buchanan was a bastion, a strong man. Boy, man, my favorite PMP of all time, Donald Buchanan. And Luther Buchanan have now said that he is going to run as an independent if Dayon Campbell is a PMP candidate for Eastern Westmoreland. What do I say about that? Hail Luther Buchanan. That's what I say about that. Hail Luther Buchanan. And I hear now, which is why I was talking about what was not in the war room, because today somebody sent me this voice note, which appears to be my good friend Bonnie Witter on that voice note that I got just a short while ago. Seriously, I painted the awning and somebody sent me a voice note because I'm not looking at the phone, because the phone is somewhere. I am listening to my prayer. The person decided to call and interrupt the prayer. And when I look at who called, I call back the person, and the person sent me a voice note, I listen to it. And the voice note appears to be my good friend and comrade Bonnie Witter. My good friend and comrade Bonnie Witter talking about how much people should go out, go support the GenSec. Now, I'm not going up why I think Bonnie would do this, because I think most people in Region 3 would already come to them conclusion why Bonnie would do something like this, and why Bonnie would be backing up that foolishness. I'm not cussing Bonnie, but he's my brethren. Them not loyal, but it's still my brethren. Them have no loyalty. Them loyalties to them pocket and what them can get, and how and them position on the NEC and them position in the region. That's where their loyalty lies. Yeah? But him still my brethren. Me not will hold it against my brethren them because them choose something else and choose not to be loyal to the party and to stand up for somebody who them used to call them friend. And I'm going to beat them up for that. I still consider Bonnie Witter my brethren, who I like very much. I will always consider my brethren. But I hear Bonnie mention something in that voice note, that some people must go out, go talk to Luther and tell Luther for back off, and some people must go in there, go support. Basically, that's what I'm saying. Support Dayon Campbell. And Bonnie suggested that people like PJ Patterson and Peter Phillips should go support Dayon Campbell. Now, I'm not speaking for PJ. I don't know me and PJ have issues. I may have a whole heap of issues with PJ because I still believe that he's partly responsible for where we are now. But I don't think PJ will do that. That's a very long shot that PJ would do something like that. Now, I know that Dr. Peter David Phillips knows that he can't do that. Now, Peter Phillips is a big man. Bigger man than me, doctor, good man with good doctorate, not like the little fool one that Angela Bromberg have. He's a good doctorate in economics. Peter Phillips a bright, brilliant man. Nobody not to give him nothing, but Peter Phillips is one of those leaders. That's why I'm so brilliant, you know. Peter Phillips is one of those leaders that sit down and listen to everybody's opinions. Everybody. Now run nobody opinion. Peter Phillips now said that is foolishness you're talking. Peter Phillips always end an argument when you suggest something. And he will start out by saying, yeah, I hear you. That's an interesting way. That could even work. You know? PJ does that too. You know? Them now run you with an idea. Them welcome an idea. And might even at some point put the idea in some other parts of things when I'm trying to put something together. But Peter Phillips is not an idiot. But I would like to say that if Dr. Peter Phillips should even consider going out to Eastern Westmoreland or coming out in public in support of Dayon Campbell, who single-handedly destroyed him, I mean, I ask Dr. Phillips to remember the vitriol that Dayon Campbell meted out to him in media, on every stage, in front of every microphone that he got his hands on. I mean, I remind Dr. Peter Phillips about that, because he's a forgiving man, and I know that he has forgiven Dayon Campbell already. But what Peter Phillips must understand is that we have not forgiven him. A majority of the PNP people out here, we're not ashamed to say that we have not forgiven him. I am a forgiving person. I can forgive anything. But him, we cannot forgive. And I'm going to tell you why. You cannot forgive somebody of something that they are not regretful of doing or saying. And there is nothing within the last 3 years that he has done or said that would say to us that we should forgive him. Nothing. Forgiveness is a God-given thing. Forgiveness is spiritual. It's emotional. Forgiveness is something you do when you have come to a conclusion in yourself, when you're feeling confident and you're feeling relieved and your heart clear. And you clear your heart and you say, okay, he never mean it. It's a mistake. I will forgive him. I forgive easily. But this, Dayon Campbell, this is not forgiving. Not even angels in heaven wants to forgive Dayon Campbell. If the angel, listen man, gonna take on a cue from the mighty God himself. Take on a cue from Jesus Christ himself, who was the most forgiving man when he walked the earth and still is. But take on a cue from that. Every striking thing Dayon Campbell turn to dust. That is God's work. Everything him touch gets worse. Everything him touch, everything him come in contact with becomes worse. God has not yet forgiven him. Why should we? Everything, everywhere him turn, look at him. Wanna take a good look at that man's face, who is still basically a young man, and look at him, look older than me. Sometimes you look at him when you see nothing but pure evil. Satan stand up in his face. What he has done is unforgivable up to now. And how do we know that it is unforgivable? He has done and said nothing in the public space that would make us believe that he's regretful of some of the things that he has done and some of the things that he has said. He went out on national stage and calling up Daryl Vaz and James Robertson name about things that gone many, many years ago. Yet Daryl Vaz and James Roberts have not been accused of walking around and driving up and down in them car with no 13 and 14-year-old girl. I eat Kentucky or coleslaw out of them 13 and 14-year-old pum pum. They have not been accused of that, which is the worst kind of sin. And the fact that he could go on stage and say something like that tells you everything you need to know. He has not regretted anything he has done. Nothing. Look what they did to Lisa Hanna. And the other day we had a war room discussion talking about the Lisa Hanna thing, talking about the Paulwell thing. And somebody in the war room said, my God in heaven, can you imagine if Lisa Hanna had stayed, what they would have done to her? And I said they would have been taking a great risk of people that shoot them. And I don't mean that to promote any kind of violence. Mark Golding is the one that promoting violence. And we're going to talk about that in another voice note or whenever I can. we'll talk about how in promoting political violence by talking about we're going to get wicked pan the labor right them and a jungle me come from and them have me back trying to set up man and man to go war with. Because him now no clue about the history of this country how political war start. Because if he knew how political wars started in this country, that him can say that crap. Talk about a jungle him represent. Him just say South Central, you know. A jungle him represent. And them have him back. And him is a stepping razor. Don't you watch my size, I'm dangerous. And we're going to get wicked pan them. Now some fool from jungle might have a little angst with some other fool from Tivoli. And two fools buck up and shoot them one another and then start a war between jungle and Tivoli. What if Margolin actually know what he's doing? Inciting war, inciting political violence. But we're going to talk in detail about that. But Peter Phillips can't go out there. Go big up my Dayon Campbell. Damian Crawford, he better watch for himself too. Because if him think that them give him that seat for him to cruise to some kind of victory, him in for a rude awakening. I wouldn't address that yet. But I know people talking to him quietly and telling him what to watch out for. And we're going to do a live to talk to PNP, the authentic PNP candidates, them to tell them what to watch out for, because the risers they are going to sabotage your election efforts. The authentic PNP, they're going to sabotage, you know. And we're telling them what to look out for. Well, the thing we live in some kind of wormhole where everything is going bad, and we'll come up and talk about everything going bad. No, we don't live in a wormhole. We're talking to Uno about what we see, what these people have said, what they have displayed. We are not saying something about them that them don't say. It is what they have said in public and what they have done in public that we are building on to flesh out to you to tell you who they are. So the people of Northeast and clearly know now who Ryan Simpson is and who this girl, who the PNP people them don't want, who she is. One comrade tell me that she said she don't have nothing to help nobody. And when she wins, she will see what she can do. I kid you not. In this 21st century politics, where psychology is an important part of a winning strategy, this girl who I don't know, telling them that she can't help anybody now. Not a thing she can't do for anybody. She will see what she can do when she wins. Now, on the PNP people don't know what to do with that. I mean, I have to tell them what to do with that. Go get a candidate that you don't want and tell the candidate go sign up in papers and go run as an independent. Because this is the time of the independents. Independents can rise up and be the voice of the discontented. Independent voices, independent candidates can rise up and be the voice, the pushback against what Mark Golding them trying to push down on the throat. I, for one, going out there, I want to organize many crews, many PNP crew for going on Eastern Westmoreland to support Luther Buchanan's efforts at beating back Dayon Campbell. And I tell him already, and I'm going to tell Dayon Campbell again. He can't stay, you know, because they might are going to poison him or obey him. And if they don't, so if they're not successful in doing that, Luther Buchanan is going to beat bad mind out of him. I guarantee you that. And that is because of who he is, what he has done, what he has said, the things that he has said that have not given us any consolation. To say that, all right, him learn him lesson, we could give him a chance. There's nothing in his bio, nothing within the last 3 years that can tell us that. Instead, everything that they have done and everything that they have said is telling us who they are and what they intend to do should the Jamaican people hand power of this country to them. That is what it is. And that is what I want to say. And I won't go any further with this because I don't want to get too much into what the other things that I want to say later on. But I want to big up the Eastern Westmoreland delegates and PNP voters them and tell them that we have no obligation to Mark Golding and this version of the PNP. None. This is the election cycle for independent candidates. PNP people and this gruntled JLP people too. Uno not nothing. Uno go vote for the independent candidates and show them show this two-party system that have taken you for granted for so many years that you don't have no loyalty to them because they have none to you. And for years and decades, you have made contribution. You have voted. You have worked. You have done everything in your power to ensure that your party survive and your party win. And now them trying to throw a candidate on you that you don't want and saying to you, we don't give a crap about what you think about it. All right? You don't give a crap about what we think about it. We don't give a crap about you either. And basically tell them go jump off in our gully. Thank you for listening to me. Please remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel. I really need to reach that 1,000. So those of you who have not yet subscribed, please subscribe, share the video, like it, and God bless you all. Please stay safe. Stay safe, everyone. Stay out of harm's way. And for God's sake, keep the children safe. Eastern Westmoreland, keep the kids safe from Dayon Campbell, please. Thank you. Bless you.